friends, Jewel back with another super cool astrology video. And I wanted to talk about the sun quintile or biquintile, the moon, in the natal chart. What that means when we see this somewhat rare aspect. So a quintile is about creativity, about uniqueness, and about creativity that we can become known for because it's a marker of our uniqueness. It's like our unique signature that then pays off for us in, our artistic or creative or individualized ways like that. So it can bring us a certain amount of recognition, quintiles or biquintiles. And the sun is our identity. The moon is our security needs and our past and what we need to feel, safe. And when we feel like this, what makes us, feel like this. So when we have these in a quintile or sorry, I've got a piece of hair hanging off my glasses here and acting like a rhino horn. When we have a quintile between the two luminaries, we tend to see somebody who's very creative. And biquintiles tend to show up a little bit differently, where they're not as outwardly creative, they're more inwardly creative. So we see the sun biquintile, the moon, very frequently in the charts of stand-up comics, people that do comedy for a living, people that are known for their character, for their quirky character, for their unique character. Quintiles in themselves tend to show up in people that, and you have to see whether the moon or the sun is in a stronger sign with this one. Because if the moon is in a stronger sign, then you're going to see somebody who's more towards risk-taking to further their creativity and uniqueness. And if the moon is in a stronger sign where it, does better, then it's going to show up as more security-oriented and not so forward when it comes to taking those risks. We're going to be more of an emotional fulfiller. So, I'm sorry, I'm still sick. This is like a Voss and a cold. This thing is not going away. So, we have somebody with the quintile that has a very strong drive to achieve their identity and their security needs through a quest for unique abilities. So they become very successful when it comes to fifth house matters: creativity, performing, children, fun and games, sports. A lot of people that are into sports and in the entertainment industry, models, will have their sun quintile to the moon. And it confers a certain amount of beauty as well. It doesn't mean that everybody with the quintile or the biquintile is going to be drop dead gorgeous, but there is something about them, especially with the quintile, where they are, they just have this way. So, it's very much like Adrian Brody, the actor. Not necessarily the most physically attractive dude. It's the way. It's the character. It's what's behind it that makes them attractive. And it bleeds out to then, maybe they are kind of physically attractive. So this is one where they, with the quintile or the biquintile, both, they are somewhat restless because fifth house energy is one that, and I say fifth house because quintiles are related to the fifth house. They're a fifth house harmonic. So you want to think of Leo, you want to think of the fifth house when you think of quintile energy and what that's about. This is not a stagnant house. This is a house that wants to get out there and have fun. It's about expression. It's about true soul expression. And so the dissatisfaction that they can feel in their lives is very much related to this restlessness that is always present in this quintile energy. So they feel alive by risk-taking because this is a fifth house thing. And part of their actual identity and personality is to be somewhat of a risk taker. So that can show up in different ways. If somebody has a lot of 12th house going on, this can show up as risk taking where people don't necessarily see it. It's more of a hidden character, and it can be even a character issue because it's not something that's being really incorporated into the identity or the lifestyle, so it ends up as this background kind of thing. Typically, somebody that has this is going to be more present in their need for risk-taking. It's going to be something that they're known for. And they, usually come from a background or from a parental relationship where there was a certain amount of conflict or difficulty or tension between the parents. Most people that have the quintile or the biquintile come from divorced parents. Not absolutely everybody, but the vast majority. And there's something about the background of these people where they chose to deal with what was going on between their parents with humor, or they chose to deal with it by seeing it as something that was a stepping stone to more. So it's very much like they took the early conflict or the early tension around them and they use this in a way that then propels them into greater creativity, or it's sometimes into greater risk-taking. You have to really consider, where these planets are, the sun and the moon maybe in the 8th house, or the 8th and 12th, where's the concentration going on here? So it's an interesting aspect where it does matter which sign the sun is going to express stronger through, and it does matter where is the concentration of energy in the chart. Is most of it going on in the 12th? Is most of it going on in the 8th? What house are the luminaries actually in? That'll give you a bigger clue about what the stronger motivation is here. But usually they have a need for security, but it is not as great as their need for experience. They require a lot of experiences in order to build a sense of security in their lives. So it's an interesting and fascinating aspect because it does definitely show quite a character. And it's going to be a very unique character. And when I think of this, when I think of effervescence, and when I think of effervescence, that word, I have the image of champagne that's just been poured and the bubbles are rising to the surface. That's very descriptive of this type of personality. The sun or the moon, quintile or biquintile, they have this unique, bubbly effervescence. And they're definitely somebody that is popular and that typically others want to be around because they have this kind of sparkling personality. They're easy to know. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, please subscribe to my channel. You can find me on the internet at truthandaspectastrology.com. You can find me on Facebook at Truth and Aspect Astrology. Yes, I do private consultation, and I'll be back super soon. Bye.